I wonder how many of my 1,000 videos is not even a real video because my service was so bad. You know what I mean? Probably a few hundred. Probably at least 200 of them have like bad service issues, or I started to film and then had to quit because I didn't have service. I bet it's a few hundred. Typical issue. So now it's working. Yeah, I don't get service out here. I don't get service out here. That's part of the reason I've been in Florida, because I have to have something to film and I have to have service. So well, I'd started putting this stuff up and collecting the trash, so I guess I'll continue with this. Hey, y'all. Y'all, girl, Vanessa, do you know, somebody sent me an email that was like cussing me out, saying that I was drunk last night? I cannot make this shit up if I tried. It was some follower. He's like, I'm assuming it's a he. They said, I'm disappointed that you were drunk. I saw that guy's channel, the guy that's spreading hate about me. He said, I saw that guy's channel and you were drunk. I didn't even respond. First of all, I don't know this person, so I'm not about to argue through email and defend myself. Second of all, I quit drinking months ago. You can see the physical gains that I've made since I quit drinking. I was honest about my struggles with alcohol in the past. It has not been an issue in the present. And it's just like, when is enough enough? Are people struggling this bad that they want to hate a person who has made significant change this much? Is that what it is? Like, what is it? What is it? I'm genuinely confused. Is it a lack of intelligence? Is it self-hatred? Where does this shit stem from? Genuine question. Where does it stem from? Stop stirring the pot or you're going to be blocked. Where does it stem from? Yeah, I mean, clearly, haters. But, like, it's just crazy. Absolutely. Do you know how many cops were out there? Did you not see the cops in my live stream? There was a half a dozen cops out there. I'm sorry, a dozen cops out there. 3 or 4 of which I waved at. Hey, how you doing? You can see the cops walking behind me in my live stream, but I'm drunk. And, you know, there's so many people that believe this shit. It's crazy. There's so many people that believed I harmed my daughter. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, it's comical at the same time, because it's like, I thought that I was bad off. If you're that dumb to believe the lies and buffoonery from someone trying to make money off of my name, then I don't need you here anyways. You're the type of person that will hold me back in life. You know what I mean? And they don't even know it. They don't even know it. They don't even know it. When was Bike Week? How many months ago was that? Wasn't that like January? Even if I would have been drinking, which I wasn't, even if I would have been drinking, it's none of your fucking business. Let me, here, piss into this cup for me. Yeah, you would never, because you're probably doing worse shit that I've ever done. It's just crazy. They literally hate themselves so much, they just want someone else to hate. It's a sad world we live in. I've done nothing but try to gear people towards God, towards doing the right things and learning from my mistakes. And somehow everything I talk about gets turned around on me. It's like, and there comes a point, and I noticed this 6 months ago, there comes a point where I realized that it was not me. I used to think society had me feeling like I was the problem because I expected too much. I wanted people to treat me like I treated them. I wanted people not to bring toxicity into my life. That's too much to ask. I wanted people to be honest with me like I was honest with them. And I really thought that I was the problem in society. And it only took a year of Carlin for me to realize that society is actually cooked completely, morally, ethically. I mean, they're just bankrupt. They are. Their self-loathing and self-hatred for themselves make them hate other people. It's crazy. Good morning, Charles. Good afternoon. Where's the trash cans? Oh, there's a trash can. There's no trash cans anywhere anymore. It's called anti-homeless architecture. It's a real thing. Give it a go. I gotta go put these noodles up back there. No trash cans, no bathrooms, no showers to wash your feet. Anti-homeless architecture. Look into it. So first they create an economy crisis, then they create a housing crisis, then they create a rent crisis. Now we have more people. The numbers last year surpassed anything we've seen in decades, and we got more people falling into homelessness, and now they just build parks and rec without bathrooms, trash cans, and anything that a homeless person might need as a resource. Trash. No climbing trees. There's no trees here, unfortunately. Not where I'm at. Not in the parking lot. Let me see, and that's another thing. I'll say something like, there's no trees here. Let me show you. This is a perfect example. This is a perfect example of how everything gets turned around on you on the internet. Great. I'm so glad you asked that. So I'll say there's no trees here, because there's not. And I mean, like, there's no trees on the actual park ground. That stuff out there, that's not park grounds. As you can see, there's a house there. That's private land. So I'll say there's no trees for us to climb. And the haters in the comments will be like, there's trees all back there. There's trees all back there. Now take that and amplify it when it comes to everything concerning my life. That's what they do. Perspective is everything. You know what I mean? Like, it really is. Trash. I wonder if that bathroom is open. There's a bathroom right there. It's never been unlocked. There's no homeless people in this town. Not one. There's not a singular homeless person in this town. They don't allow them in this town. If a homeless person tries to come to this town, the police will either A, throw them in jail, or B, harass them to a point that the homeless person has no choice but to walk down the interstate and leave out. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's what they do. Calling someone sexy is sexual harassment, for those that don't know. I'm glad you know now. Yeah. See what I mean? They don't even know. They don't even know right from wrong. That's why I say it. I don't give a fuck if a bitch is standing in a G-string on your front porch. It gives you no right to talk to that woman any different than you would your own mother. Time to grow up. Matter of fact, the Lord says that you should treat her as family. Every bitch you come in contact with, every brother you come in contact with, you are supposed to treat as family. Bunch of perverts out here. It's going to be a beautiful day. It stopped raining finally. I want to put on some gym clothes and work out. I had to put these clothes up back here. I don't know what I want to wear. That don't match. Nothing matches. Does it matter if it matches? I don't care if you don't care. I had 2 strip clubs send me an email offering me a job. I didn't even respond. I would never. We're past that. We've been past that for 3 years. Brooke doesn't put herself in the situation to be murdered and or end up back out on drugs after she's worked so hard for the past 5 years to stay clean. That would be the stupidest decision. One was in somewhere in South Carolina. It was a 5-star establishment. I've not seen many 5-star strip clubs ever in my life. And yes, Muhammad, great question. Yes, I'm much happier going through this than being raped and beaten every day. Yes, this is a better option than being raped and beaten every day, psychologically tortured and held hostage psychologically. Yes, this is a much better option than being raped. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hands down, this is 10 times better than being raped. I would rather be stressed every day, not know where my food's coming from, not have a way to wash my ass, than be raped and psychologically tortured every day. Yes. I moved into my car to escape that. So, it's all recorded. It's all recorded. It took me 20 years to escape that. I was 16. So it's a miracle that, I got myself clean. It's a miracle. It's absolutely a miracle. I'm so proud of myself for the changes I've made. I know no one else is, but I don't need that. I'm at a point in my life I don't need anybody. I'd rather be up in the bush hungry than dealing with narcissistic people. Self-serving, self-motivated, evil people. At least when I'm by myself, I know I'm safe. All right. Yeah, I am, Marty. I refuse to go back. I find it interesting that last year, at the beginning of last year in January, was the last year I ever danced. The reason I left is because there was a switch from theatrical dance into prostitution. I was never a prostitute. I was a theatrical performer. So there was a shift. So I would get hired at these clubs and they would get mad that I wouldn't sell my body or buy drugs from them. The bouncers were selling drugs. The girls were prostituting. And then I would get in trouble because I wouldn't do those behaviors, and it caused major problems. So it's impossible to find a good clean strip club anymore. They're all prostitution ridden. It wasn't like that before. It really was not. Down south, yes, South Florida, Miami, absolutely, but up north it was not like that until recent years, 2020 specifically, in the North Carolina and South Carolina area. I've danced all over this country from California, so I know my shit. I did it for almost 20 years. I've worked at some of the most high-end clubs in the country. They're all shitholes. There's no money in them, and if you're not a prostitute, you don't make money. So I find it interesting that these 2 clubs would send me, like I said, one was a 4.9, almost a 5-star out of South Carolina, and another one was in Florida, South Florida, ironically. It's like they see me, they know I used to dance, and they just send me an email offering me a job. And it's like, wait a minute, you're just like everybody else. You see this, and you don't listen to nothing coming out of my mouth because you're bamboozled by my looks, I fucking guess. What is it? What is it? I would hate to take it that far because y'all know how I feel about my looks. I don't put weight in that. My confidence comes from my intrinsic value. It comes from my morals. It comes from knowing that I'm a decent fucking human that wants to do good in this world. My confidence comes from wanting to help others and looking around and seeing no one help others. My confidence stems from the fact that I know that I'm walking in the light of the Lord. My confidence has nothing to do with this external shit. I've never looked like this in my life. I've posted pictures. Well, that was after the weight gain. But still, it's like the strip clubs that texted me or sent me an email They're clearly looking at me and not listening to the fact that I say I'm not a prostitute. So, and one of the clubs, the one in South Miami, it's a known brothel. So once again, more evil interjecting themselves into my life, trying to get me caught up in Satan's work. Same shit, different day. The restaurant, the winery, everywhere I go, I'm just surrounded by evil. It doesn't matter if I get a service industry job, then the restaurant's trying to pimp me out. Had this happen, it's all recorded. I had to sue the owners. It's crazy. It's just crazy. This is the way of the world now. If you're a pretty girl, society puts you in a box, and if you refuse to sell your soul, then you become homeless. That's what's happening. And that's fine. Maybe I'll die sooner and go meet my maker sooner. I've never neglected my kids. My kids are very well taken care of. Intrinsically, I'm sorry that you don't know what that means. Maybe if you work on cultivating your intrinsic values, you won't be a piece of shit trying to bring a homeless woman down. Thank you. You don't understand me. You don't know me. You've never been through anything I've been through. All right, let's work out. I need a water. I need a caffeine water. We gotta creep. Some liberal old lady, white, middle-aged, 50s to 60s in a Prius. How can I tell you all of that from a distance? Because I'm good at profiling, honey. I've been doing this a while. I've been on the street since I was fucking 14. And probably before that, if you count the foster care system, where I essentially had to raise myself in between getting beat every day and starved in closets and basements and cages. Let's see here. I can feel it. I can look at people and I can feel their energy. I feel crazy saying it, but it's so true. I didn't want to admit that to myself. Like, my intuition is that strong that I can look in somebody's eyes and tell if they're up to something nefarious, or if they're carrying lust, or if they're angry, or if they're no threat. It's true, though. As much as I hate to admit it, it's true. I can feel it. I can see it. It radiates off of them. I like to call it intuition, but you never know. Hey, Elizabeth. Good afternoon. Natalie's family. Am I saying that right? Hit the vape. Did I hit that vape? I have on a patch. I don't even remember hitting the vape. I'm actually surprised there's even a trash can. Is it gonna work? Oh, I'm definitely an empath. Been an empath my whole life. I didn't know what that was until last year either. Yeah, definitely an empath. And ironically, that empaths are drawn to narcissists and vice versa. So that explains why so many empaths end up in the same exact situation that I was in, because we're drawn together.
See, the narcissist is good at playing on your emotion and feeding off of your emotion. And Lord forbid they traumatize you within the first few weeks or months of the relationship. Then you're trauma bonded to them because your brain is taking it as this is a normal thing. Your brain is used to being under traumatic events. Traumatic events is what makes an empath. So it's a lot. It's hard to explain. I mean, it's really not, but I'm going to work out. But like, they go hand in hand. See, now I know that. I never knew that. And that's one of the reasons it's so important to stay single and cultivate yourself after a breakup, because you learn about yourself. Unless you're taking those breaks and you're learning about yourself, you're just going to fall into the same behavioral patterns with another narcissist. And I almost had it happen. I had a guy come to my channel. I told him I was not interested in a relationship. I'm not looking to date because I'm working on myself. When I have a career and I have a home, then I'll think about dating. See, that's the smart. That's the adult. That's the adult in me. A lot of people don't want to hear what I have to say because they're doing the opposite of what I'm trying to do. I get that. I get it. I'm not saying you're doing it wrong. I'm just saying it's not good for you to bounce from person to person to person to person. It's not good for you. So I've been single for over 4 years now, and it's been the happiest 3 and 4 years of my life. I've been focused on me. School, work, the things that are important. If you don't break out of that pattern of being around narcissists, you'll get stuck with one, and then, it's a wrap. It's just a toxic cycle of gaslighting, lying, abuse. Yeah, and I told this guy that come to my channel, I told him, I said, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm not in a place to date. I'm living out of a car. It's impossible for me to date somebody living out of a car. So I'm not dating anybody. I have no interest in dating. So he was trying to use money to get close to me. He would send me money, and then he would send me money, and then he would try to now this took place over like 90 days. I started off texting. That was fine. We'd check in every day. Hey, how was your day? How was work? And I didn't have my truck payment. I haven't had my truck payment because YouTube doesn't pay me what they should. Even though I get hundreds, I literally got 470,000 views last week and made $120. So it's not my fault. I'm doing the best that I can, And so I didn't have my truck payment, so he offered to send it, and I was like, thanks. And that happened 3 months in a row. Well, the third month, I could tell he was getting antsy, and I could tell that something was up with him because he kept talking about intimacy and shit that I'm uncomfortable with because I'm a rape survivor and I suffer from CPTSD from being a rape survivor. Like, people just don't understand the evils of the world. I guess they've never been fucking sexually tortured either, so makes sense. So I told him all of this. He watches my channel. He still watches my channel. He's one of my stalkers. I've had to block him several times. He was lying about things. He would have a new screen name every week, and I'm like, why is this your new screen name? And he's like, oh, he'd give me some bullshit story. Oh, this account got da-da-da-da. Oh, I lost this phone and had to get a new phone. Y'all know, it's like a cheating boyfriend or a cheating girlfriend, And his story just didn't make sense. And he kept giving me the runaround. And then I was being stalked in a different city. And I told him, I'm like, this is what's going on. And like, literally a month prior, somebody had stabbed out my back truck tire while I was at a park. There was a knife tip in it. All of this is recorded. I was dealing with stalking. And he said, don't you think you might be paranoid? After I had already recorded dozens of incidents of men interjecting themselves into my life because they can see that I'm out of a car. They think that I'm easy prey. They see this and they don't know that this can get really ugly really quick. The amount of patience that living out of a car has taught me. I could not control my emotions last year. We are getting better this year. We're getting better this year. So I told him I was being stalked. He saw me get stalked. He saw the videos of me getting stalked. And then he says, this was the moment, and this was right at the 90-day mark, man. They let it out after 90 days. This is why I tell you guys, don't be sleeping with that girl. Give it 90 days, and her true colors are going to come out. He says, you might be paranoid. And I said, really? And I blocked him. It's crazy. And there's 1 or 2 times that we've texted since then, and he came with the same shenanigans. This is after other people started to notice. You guys started saying, oh my God, you're being stalked. Oh my God. I'm glad you're shocked now. I was shocked 2 years ago when it started. Now I've learned to deal with it. This is after my own followers started saying, you're being stalked. Well, you see this? Yeah. And then I asked him, I said, so about the whole stalking thing, you think I'm still paranoid? And he said, yeah. And I said, no amount of evidence will ever convince a fool. And I blocked him again. And this is a prime example of when you cut toxic people out of your life, do not let them back in. As I've said before, you know the moment that woman starts lying to you or that man starts lying to you. You know the moment. It's something so, what's the word, innate? It's something so minute, okay? It'll be, y'all will have the same story except for one part. He saw something or you saw something, and they'll try to say that you didn't see what you thought you saw, but you know what you saw. And that's the moment that the gaslighting starts. And if you accept those excuses, knowing good and well that you know the truth and that you saw what you saw or you heard what you heard or you read what you read, if you accept that excuse, knowing that they're gaslighting you, it's just going to continue and it's going to snowball into full-blown toxic narcissism abuse. You know the moment that your partner first started lying to you. You know what that argument was about. That's the moment that it starts. And if you allow if you accept those excuses by staying with that person, that behavior is only going to get worse. Not everybody behaves like that, y'all. I've dated 2 people in my life that did not behave that way. And that's, both are kind of the catalyst for me realizing that I was fucking with lames. Slow progression. Some people don't grow up till 30. What can I say? I'm leaving it in the car. Shut up. Damn, this milk. All right, I think that's it. Hair clip. Hair bow. So I can put you up on your stand. And I think that's it. Did I make an energy water? Yeah. Yeah, so I was thinking about this the other night. So he was trying to use money to manipulate me into moving to his state and being with him in a relationship. There's twice. There was one time he asked me on the phone, he's like, don't you ever just want to release? And I was like, that was one of the first moments that I knew, oh God. And then there was a second time where he actually texted me and he's like, don't you ever think about intimacy? I am living out of a car. I don't even know the next time I'm going to have food. And you think I want to talk about sex? The audacity. Talk about being fucking out of touch, homie. Sex is what led me to living in that car. It's just people are just so evil and they don't even notice it. And I really think that it's a lack of intelligence. And that's why I continue to talk about CPTSD. That's why I continue to talk about what I've been through, because people need to understand that victims like me, it's not easy to deal with somebody like me. And that's the main reason I stay clean. I stay sober and clean, is because I really have to work hard on who I surround myself with, because not everybody, I can't be around everybody, because not everybody holds the same level of respect and attitude that I do. So many people are self-motivated and they will just take and take and take from you until you have nothing to give and you're literally dying and they don't give a fuck. And then they want to say, oh, you did it to yourself. It's like, wait a second. You were trying to kill me by psychologically torturing me. You were trying to kill me by putting me into a fucking box and being a fucking narcissist. No, absolutely not. And that's why you got to walk away. The moment that you notice that somebody is lying, you know when that gaslighting starts. If you accept those excuses, it's just going to snowball into a full-blown narcissistic abusive relationship. You have to walk away from people that don't love themselves, people that are toying with you, people that say they love you, but their actions don't match their words. Words are cheap, so cheap, they're free. Words are cheap and free. You know what ain't? Being loyal, being honest, being respectful, caring about somebody other than your damn self. We have company. I forgot my headphones. It's okay. This is from yesterday. Oh, it's just some girl and her friend. They wait. So we're gonna work out, but hello. Yeah, people want to. You wanna start on why the real reasons I don't trust anybody? Because I gave $250,000 worth of assets to somebody that was family for 20 years and they stole it from me. That's why I live out of a car. I own land, I own a house, and I have $80,000 in a Roth RIA, and I have no access to it because I don't have enough money to sue anybody to do anything about it. Just imagine if what I say is true, because I know you don't fucking believe me. Imagine what I say is true. What if that was you in your home? What if it was you? Just put yourself in my shoes for a minute. Imagine how angry you would be. How that would affect your mental health. Now you can't judge me for the past year. Thank you. You know, like people don't get it. People don't get it. And everything that I'm talking about has already been pre-recorded. If you're curious, go find it. I'm not going to continue living what I did last year again. It's just wasteless. It's purposeless. It's no reason to continue to talk about it until one day I have the money to sue. And I will. I will. That's what we're fighting for. One day I will get my money back. I will get my land back, and I will get my home back. All right. I'm going to start with delts. I need to stretch probably. My hamstring is sore from yesterday, day before yesterday. Whenever we did that weightlifting right here. Whenever we did that weightlifting at the gym.
Alright, so if big tables are gonna take
I need help.
and then one, okay, so we'll put this here, and then
Y'all, they're about to have a birthday party here. Let's go to the park down the road. They're about to have a birthday party here. I don't want to be out here when there's kids and stuff, you know?
on the way.
On the couch for 11 years. Damn. Is that how long you've been stuck in that relationship? Ugh. You think I can make it back with all this weight? We'll probably go to the river where I know there's nobody. They're gonna have a birthday party. I don't want to be loud out here cussing and stuff. Oh my God, am I gonna make it? What is 16 plus 15? I got 31 pounds plus. Yeah. Plus some, because the water, the phone, the camera stand, 2 cameras, car keys, and a hair clip. What's they doing? Wonder what they're doing. I'm nosy. Pay attention to your surroundings. If it looks weird, it's probably because it is. There's no coincidences. Let's see if these bathrooms are unlocked. I bet you $50 they ain't. Yeah, they're about to have a party down there. I don't want to bother them. There's a park down the road next to the creek, I think. Let's go see if the bathroom's open. I ain't even got to start the workout yet. I ain't had no caffeine either. Oh, can we put this out of there? Yeah, I came to YouTube and freaking every time I would post something and start telling my story, people would take it, tear it apart, twist it around, make up lies. And it comes to a point and it's like, wait a second. This is what society does to girls that go through this. I never realized. Like, you hear stories about the victim being re-victimized, but you don't know it's true till you experience it. And I'm just point, I ain't putting up with it. I'm here. I've been fighting my whole life to survive. I'll fight the whole damn internet. And I have. Oh God, the door doesn't lock. Really? The door doesn't lock. Lovely. No, and I do trust people, but I trust the right kind of people. That are perfect. I do trust people, but God-fearing people. People that are respectable. People that are out here trying like I am. People that have made it much far. It's usually people that are doing much better than me. If I'm being honest. Yeah, I do trust people. Just not the types that I used to trust. I don't trust trash anymore. And anyone can be trash. Anyone. Hey, Scott, welcome to becoming a bronze member. Thank you. Black men want you. When I come back on the market, listen, there was a cute one that was working at Popeyes the other day. Did y'all see him? We got Popeyes chicken down in Jacksonville. He was so cute. He was cheesing. He had a mouthful of gold teeth. I was like, I didn't even know I liked that. That was kind of cute. It had me like singing Nelly's Let Me See Your Grill. I was like, he's cute and he's nice. Like, he popped his head out the drive-thru. He was like, hey, how you doing? Like, hand me my box of chicken, smiling. Boy, don't be making them eyes at me with that big old smile. Don't be nice to me. He was cute and he was so nice. It's the little things, man. Some people, you can just feel their energy and tell that they're like, they're cool people. Like, they'd be fun to chill with, you know? And he was one of them. I could feel his energy. If you can damn work a shitty ass fast food job, let's be honest, it's crap. I've worked fast food. It sucks. People are rude when they come through the drive-thru. It is a low skill job, but it's also complex, okay? It's a lot of working parts to make a restaurant operate and function. But if you can have a smile on your face like that, working a job like that, you're going to be just fine. You're going to be successful as hell, honey. Successful as hell. And then you see other people that have a damn high-paying job, 6-figure, with a beautiful house, lovely husband and kids, and they just miserable Karens. Not a thing to be sad about. Roof over your head, food in your belly, bills paid, and you make problems. Yeah, no, he's gonna do just fine. He was a cutie. I don't think the heart discriminates. Not mine. My heart don't discriminate. I don't care what color you are, as long as you treat me right.
And you ain't about that toxic BS where you trying to damn bring me down because you don't feel happy with you. That's another thing. That guy that started texting me, that sent me money for the truck payment, I noticed there at the end, he would say things to try to tear me down emotionally. For instance, when I got the job at the bar that I was fired from because of internet trolls, they called my job. They bombarded my job and had me fired within the first week. First you say I don't want to work, then I go get a job, and then you call my job and get me fired. Anyways, I texted him when that happened. I said, do you believe me now? I said, I just got fired from my job. I said, do you believe I'm being stalked now? Do you, you know, it's crazy. And he's like, I said, do you believe me now? We were talking about the job situation. And he said, well, you probably wouldn't have made enough money there anyways, da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, but I still have to try. I still have to go and try to make some money there. That wasn't it. I mean, there was several things where I could tell he was making backhanded comments and he was discouraging me from telling